also need 1 medium vanilla mocha colada.
1 medium vanilla mocha colada.
And no whipped cream on that. And that's it.
So it's 704.
Okay. Sec.
To be 704.
Thank you. Silly humans. Alright, where are you putting your coffee when it's done?
I'm gonna put my coffee right next to my coffee.
How are you doing that? Because I have a coffee on it.
I'm gonna put my coffee on top of my coffee with my coffee because of my coffee. Ready.
Another Jeep! Race the Jeep. Nope, can't see in the side view mirror. Come on.
No, that's almost new.
Super Mario 64. That's a hard one to even keep a box for now, it seems like.
Yeah, some of these, like these came from someone else, right down through the Nintendo, and then this is the beginning of this guy's collection. So, but the X2 is near mint. The Zero would probably be pristine, but I messed it up getting a sticker off the side. It was the first game I tried to take the sticker off, so that was dumb. Should have started a sports game.
I just got this, just the card of it.
Yeah.
What a great game.
That game's awesome. Yeah.
Is it that good?
Oh, it's
yeah,
awesome.
There's a Batman and Robin.
I've been looking for it.
I got it at the retro show I went last week in Syracuse.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't go to that, actually. I meant to ask you about
I don't even know what's going on ever, really. Always
that.
here.
It has the original shrink wrap on it, so.
It does.
They just probably razor bladed the side.
Yep. Yep. There's a bunch of games like that where they just did that. There's a X-Men Mutant Apocalypse here that's actually new.
I have that game actually in box.
Yeah, it's new, and what they did was, they cut a corner off and then put a sticker on it so they knew which kid it belonged to. And I was like, wow, why would you do that? But I guess back then, you know, they didn't know.
I remember this game was just so bad.
It's comically bad.
You want to say a couple things to the camera, Frank?
Say a couple things to the camera?
Tell us about your store a little bit, how long you've been in business.
Okay. I've been doing this since probably 2005, when I realized that I had a lot of extra games, and I used to share this building with a candy store. Worked out well for a while, then I outgrew the space I had. 2008, I took over most of the store. Now I rent the whole building. And the last 5 years have been fantastic. Obviously, you can see the kind of stuff I have in here. I cater specifically to collectors. If you are buying a game from me and you are a collector, it will be what you want. And I absolutely promise. It is clean. It's tested. I obviously, I don't take crap. It's all nice. My discs all have their boxes and manuals, and all the discs are clean. Easy returns, and I love my customers. It's, I remember everybody.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And prices are always fair.
Yep.
That's never been an issue.
Yep.
I'm always really impressed with how clean everything is. That's the big thing. How many times have I told you, I was like, how in the world did you get this at this quality? It's just amazing. Now, when you first started your store, was the inventory mainly from your own personal collection?
Yeah, it started because I rebooted my collecting when I was 19, and and when I was 19, it was 2003. So over the next 2 years, I was buying other people's collections. Kids who were going off to college, things like that. And if I bought a collection of 100 games, I'd end up keeping 96 of them, and I'd have 4 that were extra or whatnot. And it got to the point by right around 2005, 2006 that I was buying collections of 100 games and going, I need this copy of Musha, but I literally need nothing else because I already have it. So that's how this happened. It was for a while. I mean, at that time I was still a chocolatier. Like, I made candy. That's what I did, and I sold games on the side. And
now, when you were younger, were you like the rest of us who would just trade in everything just to be able to get the next big thing, or did you keep stuff when you were a kid?
I kept a lot of stuff. Actually, when I was a kid, my family just did not have a lot of money. If I had a game, like, it was a miracle that I had a game. You know, I got a Genesis like 4 years after it was out. You know, I was way behind everybody else, and traded games with my cousin Mike. He got me into playing original Nintendo, and you know, my other cousins. That's how I played Atari. Actually, Rampage Atari was the first game that I had ever played.
Okay.
Was that from the 7800, I think, and I did trade a bunch of stuff in, and when I got into my teens and like was buying my own stuff, and then didn't want to have to spend more of the money I had earned at some terrible job, so I would trade my stuff in. I remember turning in a large pile of games to buy a copy of Fatal Frame that tanked shortly after, and I regret that because it was my entire N64, everything, just to get a copy of Fatal Frame for PS2.
Well, listen, my biggest regret is I remember walking in with a stack of games to, at the time it was Electronic Boutique.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted NBA Showdown 94. And I'm like, all right, I'll take a bunch of my games. Probably traded in about 15 games at the time.
Yep.
One of which just happened to be Musha.
Oh yeah, that's.
NBA 94.
I have a horrible story. Game Trading Zone. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Game TZ. I've been a member for almost 14 years, and that is how I saved so much money doing this. Most of my personal collection, which everything looks like this, came from there. You can get a lot of stuff on there. But on there, it was when the game Fear Effect for PS1 came out. Big deal, you know, cel-shaded graphics. Everyone was freaking out. Guy had a brand new copy, so I took the copy of Dracula X I had just bought on clearance for $10 that was still sealed from Toys R Us. I hadn't even opened it yet, and was like, I only paid $10 for this. I'll trade you for that Fear Effect. And the dude did it, and I was like, sucker. And then
Fear Effect's an okay game.
Yeah, Fear Effect's an okay
right.
game at like $6. That's cool now. Yeah, I like that like $400 Dracula X. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
You know, actually sealed probably like a K right now. You know?
Easily.
Yeah,
Probably.
like no problem. Yeah.
I mean, the cart's, what, $200 by
Yeah,
itself?
like, the cart's pushing too. Yeah, complete in box. Last one I watched on eBay was like $450. Yeah.
I remember when Toys R Us was clearing out Genesis, I happened to pick up a classic Castlevania Bloodlines.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have it sealed, but it's not in the clamshell, it's in the cardboard one. So.
It's still worth something, but
Still worth
obviously just
something,
not as much.
yeah.
Like the clamshell's just drastically more expensive.
Yeah. So what kind of other stuff do you do here at the store?
Other than clean games all day long for the rest of my life, I occasionally play them. You know, mostly I have to do Magic stuff over the weekends. Magic the Gathering. I'm hoping eventually we're going to get into video game tournament stuff. I mean, I'm sure we've talked about that before, but I don't know. It's tight because it's mostly just me here. My friends come in when they can and give me a hand. But
how many days a week do you work?
I'm open 5 days a week, and it says I'm open 8 hours in each of those days. But I'm here probably an hour early, and maybe an hour or two after I close, and I'm here every Monday anyway for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours also. So occasionally I get a Sunday off.
Now, what about the Magic the Gathering tournaments? How often do you do that?
2 nights a week, Friday and Saturday. So there was one last night, and my average Friday and Saturday is a 12-hour day, 11 to 11, because the tournaments usually run about that late. They start at 6 p.m., $5 a person. We do modern and standard, so you play with all your newer cards on Fridays. Good for beginners, things like that. If it's your first time coming, you can play for free. And on Saturdays, it's Legacy. You play with all these old cards that are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and put them to use so waste money on Magic cards that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
How many people do you get usually for each tournament?
There's something else going on the weekend. It's 9 to 14, but on our like last night was probably about 9 people because Halloween weekend people are out. You normally 14 to 24 especially on a Saturday. They prefer that format.
And you hold it in that room over there?
Yes. Yeah.
But you want to get that one.
Machines that punch them up we've had it since I was 9. And she said, oh, well, $70. I was like, oh, alright, sounds
Good
good.
deal. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can't even buy a non-working one for that price right now.
I mean, it's got everything. They handed me the keys and said good luck, and
Yep.
this guy over here is gonna help me move it.
Yeah. Or just keep it, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
So, for that
obviously,
price,
it repels robots and saves princesses by itself, so...
Yes, yeah, it's the highest rated game I've ever had in here. Blind Gamer Magazine gave it a 10 out of 10.
Wait, and picture?
It's just one of the rarest games you can get out there. Obviously, with a price tag of $99,999.
I would have charged more, but no more numbers would fit.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the A&O Retro Show.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Oleg. And we're going to be starting a new channel. Hopefully it's going to take off, and we're going to have some good times with it. Today was our first excursion out into the wild together.
Yep.
And we went around to a couple stores here in the Albany, New York area. We met a couple cool dudes, and one of which we got on camera. His name is Frank from Forgotten Freshness Video Games in Mechanicville, New York, which is about 15 miles away from Albany. He's got a great store. We'll be showing some video footage from there, and we're gonna show you some stuff that we picked up from his stores. And but first, we're gonna talk a little bit about just our background in gaming. Andy, what kind of stuff are you into?
Let's see. I mean, I'm only 20. I've been collecting NES, Nintendo, Super Nintendo for about a year almost. I'm more into NES. I grew up with the Super Nintendo. I actually still use that same Nintendo from my older sister. Same Nintendo 64. I'm also big into Sony. This is the PlayStation 2 and 3. Just can't go wrong with any of those titles.
What's your favorite system?
Probably just the NES, just because that's when everything was still fresh.
I'm a little older than him just by a few years. I've been collecting since I was a kid, starting with the Atari 2600. That was actually my first system. Then I was big into NES, Sega. I actually never grew up with an original NES. I had a Sega Master System because the NES at the time was pretty hard to come by. So we went to KB stores, and they didn't have an NES, so we picked up a Sega Master System. I think I was 10 years old about at the time. And I've pretty much been gaming ever since. A lot of the games that I still have are the original ones that I grew up with as a kid. Some not, I'm sure I sold back a bunch over time. But we're standing here, this is where all my retro games are. My newer stuff is in the living room, where I play a lot of my newer games, Xbox, the 360, PS3, Wii U. I probably have about 1,200 games total, I would say, between all the systems. Favorite systems are probably the 16-bit era, Genesis, Super Nintendo, big fan. A lot of classics.
Can't go wrong with Nintendo.
No, can't at all. My favorite kind of games are probably fighters, beat 'em ups, love platformers, shoot 'em ups. Not a big fan of RPGs. I know that's big in the gaming community.
There goes all our subscribers already.
I know. First episode, you guys are gonna be like, hell with this. Let's go check out what Retro Liberty's doing. But so that's a little bit about us, and let us show you what we got today. You want to start?
Sure. Let's see. Actually, just from him, I traded him Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 for quite a few games. This one actually being one of that I've been looking for is Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. This one is without Donald Duck. I have the other one with Donald Duck, but I can never find this one. F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. A lot of people are saying, well, you just said you like Super Nintendo. Somebody stole my games one year when I was younger, so I've been kind of rebuilding. This one I have never actually gotten when I was a kid. I never really liked racing, so give it a shot. I heard really good reviews. Mick Kids. I don't know why we picked this up. I mean, it's one of those games you just can't go wrong with it. It's McDonald's, McKids. I'm gonna give it a shot, even though the Angry Video Game Nerd kind of shit on me.
He shits on everything. That's
He does.
Kind of retro. So
I think he even shit on Super C.
yeah, I don't know how you can shit on that.
And then last one was from him as well, is Contra. I'm not even gonna go into Contra. If you guys are watching this, you know what Contra really is. So
yeah, I had an extra one of Contra, so as part of our trade. As far as my pickups are concerned, I got Complete in Box, Earthworm 1 and 2. That was part of the trade that we just did. And Forgotten Freshness. Got a couple games from Frank. I also picked up MC Kids. He was the one that grabbed it first, and I immediately pretty much grabbed it out of his hand and was like, oh my god, I want that, because there's been a couple shows talking about it recently, just randomly.
Let's look at our labels.
However, I thought that was the only one, so I grabbed it. Then he finds another one, kind of in better condition. Mine label's peeling off, but I guess that's karma. Also picked up a couple PSP games cheap. First one, Dark Stalkers Chronicles, Capcom Fighter, same old as Street Fighter. Fun games. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with some of the characters in it, even just from the Marvel Capcom fighters. It's a fun game, fun series. And this game I didn't really know much about, Loco Roco 2. Seems like a quirky little game, kind of a puzzler, platformer.
People jumped you with that one.
Yeah, Andy and Frank both said that it was a fun game for $5, and it's still sealed. Can't really go wrong. A couple games that I got from another store that we went to, J Street Gaming. We didn't get a chance to film there today because it's in a mall. It was kind of crowded. The owner of the store, Ryan, I know you pretty well. We're going to do an interview with him as well. We'll probably do that at some point in the future when it's less crowded in the store, but it's kind of hectic, so we just bought some stuff, and we got a little footage from the store as well. But I just got some common NES titles, some which I never really heard of. Trojan from Capcom. Don't know much about it, but it's a Capcom game from the NES system. Can't really go wrong there. Dino Wars. Again, don't know much about it, but it was cheap. Andy here said it was a good game.
It looks like a good game.
Yeah.
I've actually never heard of that. Like,
Okay,
I've never even seen that out.
Maybe it was Ryan that said he thought it was a good game.
I think he just wanted to sell it.
Yeah, probably, but it's $5. You know, it's not bad. Cover art is cool. I like the art. And Eight Eyes, another one which I don't really know much about.
I've never.
But again, I like the cover art and it was cheap, so can't really go wrong there. Now, my big purchase of the day, which I was just blown away by this. You guys will see footage of this. When we walk into Forgotten Freshness, Frank literally has 2 huge boxes full to the brim of Super NES games, all complete in box. Not only are they all complete in box, I mean they're mint. I mean they look like they just came off
out of the factory.
Out of the factory, exactly. I'm looking through them. I mean, he had Demon's Crest in the box.
After we talked about that in the car.
Right. He had Turtles in Time complete in the box. Ton of games which are worth a ton of money. Didn't really want to spend that much today. But he gave me a pretty good deal on this game. It's a game which is relatively common on the NES or Super NES. But I, for some reason, never had it. It was the first game to use the FX chip for the Super NES, which I'm sure you guys know about. It's pretty revolutionary at the time. And he gave me a great deal on it, complete in box. I think it's brand new. It still has the little baggie inside. And it's Star Fox. Obviously, it's a classic. I've played it before. Just don't have it in my collection now. I have the Star Fox games for the N64, Star Fox 64. I actually got it for the 3DS as well. I got the Star Fox Assault, I believe it's called, for the GameCube, another cool game. It's on-rail shooter, but fun game, and it's pretty cool. I got it for $30. It's a good deal. Couldn't really pass it up, especially in this condition.
No.
Look at this. I mean, it's freaking beautiful.
Look at this. I got some NES games. So this is like holy crap.
Yeah. So happy to have this join my collection. And that was pretty much our pickups of the day. Do you have anything up to that?
I guess if anyone wants to know what we are, we're a mix between Game Chasers, Retro Liberty, kind of Game Sack, if you've ever heard of them. They're some nice guys.
Little bit of maybe like Grimsy82,
Yep.
Scott. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I've talked to him a few times. I enjoy his videos. If you guys don't know who he is, check him out. Grimsy82.
Yeah. Everything's going to be right below.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And he's a cool dude. We're going to do some stuff like him as well. Just, pick up videos, show the videos of, our pickups. Edit that.
Yeah.
And we live in upstate New York. So that's one thing you guys need to know. We live in upstate New York. And the weather sucks here for pretty much 7 to 8 months out of the year.
It's not California. We don't have Little Samson on a shelf for $15. Or in Texas, we don't have Flintstones for $4.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of stuff, unfortunately. And even flea markets, we
Dwindle.
There's not that many of them. Usually I go to about 5 or 6 during the summer, but it's already past flea market season. Next summer, once we're doing the show, we're going to do a lot of those kind of videos, but right now they're just not available because it's not flea market season. Same with garage sales. So right now we're going to be going around to stores, doing pickup videos from that kind of thing. We'll do some game reviews, maybe some top 10 lists.
Top 10 lists for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are always
I gotta
fun.
teach him how to use a video editor, so
I'm
at one point in time, it'll be, even if we can't meet up, we'll have each other do our own videos.
And put it on the channel.
Yeah, upload it to the channel. We'll talk to you guys. Subscribe to us. It means a lot already. I think we already have maybe 20, 30 people just from the Retro website on Facebook, and we'll hopefully go from there.
All right. Well, that's our first episode, and hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.